About 10 kilometers from the village of Mayurganj, an abandoned hospital stood alone on a desolate road. People called it Sahu Hospital. Once the most modern and largest hospital in the area, it had now turned into a ruin. Broken walls, shattered windows, and wild, overgrown bushes made it even more terrifying. The villagers were afraid to even mention its name. They believed that a terrible incident from years ago had left the place haunted by restless spirits. Sahu Hospital was established in 1985 by Dr. Vinay Sahu and his wife, Dr. Preeti. They were dedicated to providing affordable health care, believing that medical treatment was a basic right for all. Over time, the hospital gained a strong reputation and became well known in the surrounding areas. Everything was going well until tragedy struck in 1995. A deadly explosion occurred in the hospital's storage room, where oxygen cylinders were kept. Within moments, the entire hospital was engulfed in flames. Dr. Vinay, 23 patients, and 5 nurses were burned alive in the fire. The incident sent shockwaves through the entire region. Some claimed that just before the fire, a patient had seen a strange shadow in the hospital's basement. It was a ghostly figure dressed in white, but its face was blurry. After the disaster, a few surviving staff members swore they had seen a figure walking through the hospital without any feet. Since that day, the hospital was shut down. Years passed, and the hospital became nothing more than a crumbling ruin. But at night, eerie lights could be seen flickering inside. Some villagers reported hearing screams, while others spoke of a woman crying in the darkness. 4 friends from the village, Ravi, Mohan, Suresh, and Deepak, dismissed these stories as mere superstition. They believed ghosts were nothing more than figments of people's imagination. Determined to prove the stories wrong, they decided to spend a night inside Sahu Hospital. Equipped with flashlights, a camera, and some snacks, they set off on their daring adventure. At around 11:30 p.m., the 4 friends arrived at the hospital. They climbed over the broken boundary wall and entered the premises. The hospital's main entrance was rusted and slightly ajar. Inside, complete darkness awaited them. As they shone their flashlights around, they saw charred hospital beds, broken medical equipment, and dust-covered floors. The long corridor stretched ahead, cold and eerie. As they moved forward, Deepak suddenly felt a chill in the air. He rubbed his arms, but the cold only intensified. Then he felt a hand on his shoulder. He spun around instantly. There was no one there. Nervously, he told his friends about it, but they just laughed it off. Suresh grinned and said, "Let's go to the basement. That's where the real fun will be." The basement door was old and rotting. As they pushed it open, it creaked loudly, revealing a pitch-black room filled with an unbearable stench, like rotting flesh. Suresh flashed his torch around, and in the far corner, they saw a shadowy figure draped in white. "What was that?" Suresh whispered, his voice trembling. Ravi scoffed. "Probably just your imagination." Then they heard footsteps. Ravi quickly turned his flashlight toward the sound, but there was no one there. Suddenly, Mohan screamed. He looked down at his hand. It was ice cold, as if something had grabbed him. He turned to see a dark, burnt figure staring at him. His scream echoed through the hospital. Panic set in as they spotted a woman at the end of the hallway. She wore a nurse's uniform, but her eyes were pitch black, her face covered in burn scars. She slowly advanced toward them. Terror gripped them as they bolted for the exit, only to find the hospital door had slammed shut on its own. Strange occurrences began unfolding around them. The lights flickered. Bloody handprints appeared on the walls. The 4 friends rushed into a room, slamming the door behind them, but on the wall, a chilling message was scrawled in blood. Suddenly, the door creaked open on its own. Standing there was the ghost of Dr. Vinay, his face burned, his skin peeling, his eyes oozing blood. The friends tried to run, but an unseen force held them in place. Deepak and Suresh collapsed to the ground. At that moment, Ravi had a vision. He saw the night of the fire. Patients screamed, flames consumed the hospital, and Dr. Vinay desperately tried to save his patients, only to perish in the inferno. A realization struck Ravi. The spirits in the hospital were trapped, unable to find peace. Summoning his courage, he spoke out, "We mean no harm. Please let us go." Dr. Vinay's ghost pointed toward a rusted locker in the basement. Inside, they found old hospital records and a diary. The diary revealed a horrifying truth. The fire wasn't an accident. The hospital's owner, Mr. Gupta, had deliberately caused the oxygen cylinder. As soon as they took the diary, the atmosphere shifted. The air felt lighter. The spirits had been freed. The main door creaked open, and they rushed out. The next morning, the friends handed the diary over to the police. An investigation confirmed that Mr. Gupta was behind the tragedy. He was arrested, and the truth finally came to light. With justice served, the spirits of Sahu Hospital were finally at peace. Even though the hospital remained in ruins, the villagers no longer feared it. Sahu Hospital had gone from being a haunted mystery to a place where the truth had finally won. This story teaches us that behind every rumor, there might be a hidden truth. Sometimes, to uncover the past, we must confront our deepest fears.